and welcome to episode number 52 of the TEW 2016 Challenge Run. It is week 3 of July. We are in Glasgow, Scotland for Raw and SmackDown today, as the UK tour now over halfway through. Let's get into this. Jonathan Cena opens Raw, and it's his first promo back since he returned. Well, he gave a little bit of like a 20-second speech at the end of last week's Raw, but it's his first proper promo back. He's basically saying that he's seen what's been going on. He's seen Adam Cole badmouth him on these last couple of Raws. He says, "You see, folks, this is why it's good in life to not hold grudges and just get along with everybody. Because yes, while me and Nikki are no longer an item and our engagement did fall through, there's no resentment between us. Like, I don't hate Nikki, she doesn't hate me, we're still on speaking terms, we're still friends. So I think Adam Cole was out here trying to use that as like a low blow, whereas instead it was a mutual consent, mutual agreement, and we've moved on. So it was just him poking the bear and the bear not responding. But Adam Cole needs to learn that words come with consequences, and that he needs to learn to keep John Cena's name out of his mouth. You see, we had a feeling that Kurt Angle was going to get taken out on Raw last week. That's why Nikki called me. She knew somebody on that team, either AJ Styles or Chad Gable or Jason Jordan, wasn't making it to Insurrextion. And I was called for backup because I leapt at the opportunity to shut Adam Cole's mouth once and for all. This would bring out Adam Cole, who's like, expressions changed. He's more happy than he has been usually. He's laughing at John Cena. He's like, "Look at you, John. I've got you on my hook. You see, you really thought I cared about Nikki Bella? Nikki Bella, of all people? Sure, Nikki Bella is my boss, but it's 2019. Nobody cares about Nikki Bella anymore, John. No. But when I saw Nikki Bella become Raw General Manager, I saw a direct path to get to you. You see, John, you're the one that I knew that I wanted. You're the one I wanted to respond to, because I've got a bone to pick with you, and I knew that spreading your word and taking shots at your ex-fiancé would be the quickest way to get you out of Hollywood, out of making crappy comedy films, and here to Glasgow to meet Adam Cole baby face to face. You see, John, there's a new era here in WWE. I'm sure you've heard about it. I'm sure you've heard about the new era a lot. But we're not talking about the new era here. We're talking about the undisputed era. John, you run around here, your song saying, your trumpets go brr, 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 and it says, "Your time is up, my time is now." No, John, what you need to realise is, I know a lot of people have said this to you because it's the cool thing to do, but when Adam Cole says it, Adam Cole baby means it. Your time is up, John. Not only is your time up, your whole era needs to stay in the past. And my time is now. Because your time is up. Our time is now. Your era is up. And our era is undisputed. And we see you've got a nice welcome back party later on tonight. You're going to take on Roddy here in your first match back on Raw. Well, we'll see you there, John boy. Adam Cole baby, letting Cena know what's up. We then get the UK Showcase match, in which Walter and the Imperium defeat Pete Dunne, Zack Gibson and James Drake. Walter defeats Zack Gibson by pinfall. 61 for Walter, 61 for Marcel, Fabian Eichner, 47, 70 for Dunne, 57 for Gibson, 56 for Drake. Fandango and Tyler Breeze backstage, reminiscing. They're like going through like the Fashion Files drawers, and Fandango's just going, "Hey Breeze, do you remember all the good times we had here with this police hat?" He'd put the police hat on his head, and Breeze would be like, "God, looking back, we look so stupid." And then they'd bring out like the fake police badges, and then you'd hear "Ahem" from off screen, and Aaliyah and Tonara Conti stood there. And one of them would give Tyler Breeze the curly finger. And she would like, look at this. And Breeze would be like, look at the phone. He'd look at a phone and then look disgusted at Fandango. He's like, look back at his face like, did you send this? And Fandango's like, did I send what, Breezy? These messages to Aaliyah and Tainara, did you send these? And Fandango's like, what do you mean, Breezy? I still have my Nokia cell phone. I don't know how to send text messages. And Tyler's like, well, I can see right here that you've sent these messages to my ladies. And no matter how many times they've been coming at me, telling me you've been trying to hit on them all this time. And I didn't believe it because I thought we were best friends, but maybe you're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe this stupid fashion files stuff. This is now bad memories because they were spent with a snake. And Bruce, you don't mean that. He's like, oh, get out, Fandango. Get out, Dango. No, he'd call him Fandango because, well, Dango's his nickname. He's like, no, we're not. Breezango is over. This is Tyler Breeze's time now. Get lost. And Fandango would take, like, the police hat off his head and hold it to his chest all sad as he walks out. Kind of in a funny way, but it is supposed to be like a serious, aww moment. Because the fans love the fashion police stuff, and Tyler Breeze has just been a dick and chose hoes over bros, I guess. Elias gets the pinfall over Cedric Alexander. Not much else really to it, except for after the match, Drake Maverick comes out. It's like, would you look at that? Another loss for little Cedric Alexander. You see, Cedric, you tried your best to make an impact here on Raw and jumped up from 205 Live, and you're fallen flat on your face, haven't you? Unlike EC3 here, who, when he first came to WWE from NXT, his first match, he won the United States Championship. And at Insurrextion, it's going to be you against my friend EC3, and he's going to put you in the ground for good. Simple segment. It's Cedric Alexander against EC3. And then we get Katie Ray and Piper Niven. They cut a hometown Scottish promo because we're in Glasgow and they're both Scottish. Talking about how much they love Scotland and haggis and bagpipes and wearing kilts before Piper Niven's match with Sasha Banks. And we go for the hometown win here today. Piper Niven defeats Sasha Banks in a huge upset with a Michinoku driver. And the Scots celebrate somebody winning something because it's not often Scotland get to celebrate victories of any kind. We see Fandango chatting to Candice LeRae backstage. Pouring his heart out to Candice about what Tyler Breeze did to him. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Bree. I always thought you and Breeze were best friends. It sucks that he's taking their side over yours. And Fandango's like, I know it is. And then he stops and he's like, so Candice, you fancy going on a date sometime? And then she looks at him, she's like, I'm married. And Fandango's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to try. And then Gargano would walk in the screen and be like, what's going on here? And Candice would be like, it's an honest mistake, Johnny, don't worry. And then he's like, if Fandango here wants a fight, I'll give him one later on tonight. Because Fandango's accidentally hit on Johnny Gargano's wife. And I need to be careful with this because this does make Johnny look like a dickhead. But he's not supposed to. It's just a way to set up a Johnny Gargano Fandango match later on in the show. But I didn't know how to do it because Fandango's still on that creeper phrase. And yeah, so he's still a face. He's just being a bit of a dick in this segment because somebody's hit on his wife. And in that situation, you naturally would be a bit of a cunt. So can't really blame him. Tag team fatal 4-way match. Winners go to Insurrextion to face the tag team champions. This is elimination, like the game has said. Braun, Strowman and Babatunde eliminate everyone. And they go on to Insurrextion to face the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Then get Charlie Caruso backstage with the Usos. And she explaining how do you feel about Braun and Babatunde going on And Jimmy and Jay are like, we're not afraid of them. We're not afraid of them, Oos. You'd think for being WWE's version of Godzilla and King Kong as a tag team that they'd be more destructive. But they've had to sneak up on us every single time they've laid us out, Oos. And, well, when we go one-on-one, when we go on 2-on-2 on Insurrextion, it'll be us face-to-face with them. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And we're going to chop those big giants down and prove why we are holding down this tag division for over a decade. And we'll welcome Godzilla, we'll welcome King Kong to the Uso Penitentiary. Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley ends in a no contest because Becky Lynch runs in and attacks both women in a match where the winner would move on to Insurrextion to face Becky. Becky would come out, beat people up, hold her title in the air, get a huge pop because it's the UK and it's Becky. And then we get a commercial break and we come back. Charlie Caruso catches up with Becky, who's storming through the hallway. She's like, Becky, can you explain what you did while you attacked both Bianca and Rhea Ripley out there? Which is like, yes, I can, Charlie, because if I was to sit back and let the natural outcome of that match happen, I'd have seen Rhea Ripley defeat Bianca Belair. Which, while that would have pleased me, I don't want Rhea Ripley being the person to hand Bianca Belair her first L here on Raw. I want to be the woman to do that. And on the contrary, in case Bianca Belair did defeat Rhea Ripley in that match there, I definitely wouldn't want Bianca being the first woman to hand Rhea Ripley defeat here on Raw. I want to be the woman to do that. And she'd look at the camera and she'd be like, see both you ladies at Wembley, and walk off. We get a match, Alexander Wolf versus Killian Dane, in a very gimmicky sort of storyline match, not really an actual match. More an angle where Wolf keeps trying to take the fight to Dane, but Nikki's out there, and when Nikki shouts, she's still in Wolf's head, and you've got Bray Wyatt out there saying, clear your mind, erase your mind, Wolf, you need to overcome this, ignore Nikki, she's no one, let me guide you, and all that jazz. But then Killian Dane would defeat him in the end. Nikki would grab the mic, again Glasgow, and be like, you'll never get me out of your mind, Wolf. Never, 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 never. Now, Nikki's knocking on your heads. Nikki's knocking on your door. Let Nikki come in and let Nikki play. And then Bray's like trying to cower over Wolf and Sarah and Bo as Dane and Nikki get the upper hand. Here is Gargano and Fandango. Gets a 73B-. Gargano defeats Fandango with a Hurt Donut. After the match, Gargano grabs a mic. He's like, I've got business to attend to. Dango, this may have all been a misunderstanding. I understand now that you're frustrated. You may not have known that Candice was married to me. I apologise, but I'm very hot-headed right now. Because I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for Dolph Ziggler and Shelton Benjamin to jump me from behind because they think they're coming to take their spot back. Well, I'm right here now, lads. Now come on and face me. Dolph Ziggler would walk out on the stage. He'd go, Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. I've heard so much about Johnny freaking wrestling. The guy in NXT who was stealing the shows on a monthly basis. The guy who was Superstar of the Year, Tag Team Superstar of the Year, had Match of the Year, Best Tag Team Match of all time, Best Singles Match of all time. All these accolades. And you're Johnny, who could never get the job done. Because in this save, he didn't win the belt, because Ciampa never lost it. So, Ciampa's still the champion, so Johnny never became the NXT champion. Do you know what that makes you, Johnny? Then he'd go, Johnny Ziggler. Johnny Ziggler. Johnny Ziggler. And Johnny, you're currently in my spot, and I'm taking my spot back at Insurrextion. Because God forbid, nobody's going to give Dolph Ziggler chances in 2019. He's got to create them for himself. Main event is an 81B. I forgot to put in that all of the UE plus AJ, Jason Jordan, and Chad Gable would run out, and it would be a big schmoz. But John Cena defeats Roderick Strong with an AA and gets the pinfall win. Show gets us a 85B plus. That's pretty decent. Especially for a UK show, to be honest. So yeah, that's the end of Raw. See you next time. Episode 53, SmackDown Live. See you then.